Hi friends, and welcome back to another awesome episode of NewTubers Interviews. My name is Megan, I'm one of the staff members here at NewTubers, and today I'm going to be chatting with some of our very own alumni. Now for those of you who may not know, NewTubers alumni are creators who have reached or exceeded 5,000 subscribers. We have two creators with us today, and those are Moonbo and Piccolo Jr. And why don't we start off with each of you telling us a little bit about your channels. Moonbo, we'll start with you.
Alright, so I'm Moonbo. It's nice to meet you, Meg, and Wolf King, or Piccolo. My channel is a gaming channel. I've been running it for about a year and a bit now. I have come pretty far, I think, and I've gone through some trials and tribulations, but it has been a blast.
Alrighty.
Alright, Piccolo, and what about you?
Hello, everybody. It's I, your favorite Green Namekian here, and today I'm doing a podcast with these fine people. I do a Dragon Ball Z character channel, so that means I change my voice just to play video games. I'm also a voiceover artist, and I just, I impersonate the Dragon Ball Z character Piccolo, and just play games, reacts, and whatever comes to mind.
That's awesome.
I love it. It's so funny. So I'm just going to jump on in with some questions here. How long have you guys been doing YouTube, and about how long did it take you to reach 5,000 subscribers?
For me, I guess I would say I've been doing it for about a year and a half now, and I think it's kind of hard to pinpoint exactly when I hit 5,000 subscribers, but I think it was probably after about 6 months or so, 6 to 8 months.
It's pretty decent. That's actually pretty good, actually.
It was quite the journey, and I think, especially for gaming, I think it was pretty good for the general gaming world on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's quick.
That's very quick.
I always try to keep my my ear to the ground as far as like what it is to be a gaming channel on YouTube. So I thought it was pretty good.
Nice. I've been doing YouTubing this is technically my second channel, but now it's my main channel. I've been doing YouTube for about 6-ish years now, actually. At first, I started a Let's Playing channel that, it did decent, had about, 50 to 100 subs. It just went somewhere. It didn't really go anywhere, put a lot of passion to it, hundreds of videos, So I've been around the block, and then I decided, okay, let's go do a Piccolo channel. Okay, everybody wants me to do one, fine. I think I hit my 5K mark at around April of this year, actually. So, like, the channel hasn't even been a year old yet, actually. Actually, it'll be a year old in November,
nice.
Actually.
Jeez,
although, to be fair, I've gotten shout-outs by bigger channels, mainly my friend who has about 100K plus subscribers, so he kind of helps me keep growing as well, to be fair.
Well, that's super helpful. That's awesome.
Yeah, we have a big group of DBTubers, which isn't really cool.
That's cool.
That's super cool. So, like, what were some, like, struggles that you guys faced when you first started your channels?
I guess for me, I think as far as I think it depends on how you got into YouTube and what made you really start doing it to answer that question. But at the end of the day, it was realizing that you were doing it, in the way that you can imagine you want to grow as a channel. And so I think there was a lot of questionable, how do I keep producing content, and I think that was the hardest thing for me. Even now, after so much longer, I think it's one of the hardest things is just keeping people entertained and making them coming back for more, really.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, I think we probably see that question on the subreddit, at least 2 or 3 times a week.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm out of ideas. How do you make new ideas? How do you create new ideas? Or how do you keep going when the mojo is kind of left?
Yeah, and I think, like Piccolo mentioned before there, he said the word passion, and I think that is something that's really important, as well as if you truly do have a passion for what you're doing, it shows in your work, and it helps. Yeah. It helps keep you moving forward, I suppose.
Exactly. You just got to keep moving forward. You just you just gotta try at the very least, just try and get that schedule, even if it's, one video a week or 2 weeks. And hey, you just gotta keep going.
That's the truth.
Piccolo, did you have anything else to add to that?
Yeah, what was your hard times? How did you keep pushing?
Oh yeah, my hard times. I didn't necessarily have really hard times. My hard times are really my bad internet, really, because I can't really upload and do things at the same time. So I have to really only upload one video and then go off to work and then just forget my computer for like 3 hours.
Oh, that's rough. Oh,
yeah.
Gosh.
Although we did have a bit of drama in the Dragon Ball tubers zone when I first started my channel, because people were like, oh, why did you get shouted out? Why didn't I get shouted out? And then that just tumbled, and it's like, okay, what have we done? And in the end, everybody became friends, which is nice. Which is nice. It was quite the adventure, to be honest.
That's very interesting. It gives you...
It gives you
an idea of community, though, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You realize there is a community there.
Which is really nice. But in terms of that, I don't think I've really had any very huge snags, to be perfectly honest, which is really nice. It's like, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
YouTube, please don't demonetize my videos.
Fingers crossed, right?
Exactly. I don't want to see that.
So, since it took both of you guys fairly quickly to surpass the 5,000 mark, how did your YouTube experience change once you did surpass 5,000 subscribers?
I guess, well, for myself, I would say it became a lot more exciting, for sure. You start getting a little more excited about releasing videos, but I think it's also trying to set a professional tone to a certain extent as well, and trying to, I guess, realize that the whole brand idea or image, whatever you might want to call it, I mean, whatever you're selling yourself or whatever it might be, but you start to realize how important it is to kind of just really establish the channel as a channel with continuity. People know your videos. They watch one video, they watch another video, they know it's your video, and they really get a sense of what you're about. And so trying to tie it all together it takes a lot of work, I find, especially, with gaining resources for contributing to your own content and how you make your videos better, whether that's in your editing and stuff like that. I think you really kind of have to take a look at that.
What about you, Piccolo?
I honestly just keep looking forward to all the comments I get. It's always nice seeing the comments, and like some videos, like it helps people, which is really nice. So like now actually getting past this 5,000, YouTube's pushing me out a little bit more, which is nice. And then I'm actually actively helping and brightening people's days more and more, which is in turn actually pushing me more and more to really better the channel, and exactly as Mr. Moon says, you gotta give that professional tone, you just gotta, you always, no matter what goes on or whatever happens, you always gotta act professional, like either if you're working with someone you don't like or whatever, you just gotta work with them, and it's nice. You just gotta be professional.
Yeah, and because it's like you said too, like comments especially is actually a huge motivator, isn't it? Even during any period, whether you have 100 subscribers and you get one comment, or if you have thousands of subscribers and you're getting hundreds of comments, and even sometimes I think, you were saying too with the professional, is you get good and bad comments, and I think being able to understand that mentality of the good and the bad and just accepting it for what it is and embracing it even, because that is a part of what you're getting into. That is like a certain hurdle as well when you're trying to, keep pushing yourself.
No, absolutely. That's so 100% spot on. And I think that some of our, NewTubers are, very, very small content creators that are just starting out. I think that's, invaluable information for them because, it's rough. Like when you get that first dislike or, when somebody leaves, a troll hate comment, you should just quit YouTube now. Like that hurts when when you've got a small subscriber count, you're just starting out and you're still trying to figure out your own content. So, it's rough.
Oh, yeah.
So, we've talked about community and, how that's really a great part of creating content. But, what else do you both love about creating content?
The one thing I actually really enjoy about creating content is, as I said earlier, is like I just love brightening other people's days up. Just giving them that hope that, like just bringing smiles to everybody, and that's what it. Because I also, as I said earlier, I'm also a voice actor, so like just bringing life to people's projects or even bringing smiles to people is just it's a good pick me up. Like just making people smile and just doing the best that you can always do.
No, I love that. That's great.
Hey, I got a smile right now just listening to you, man.
Yes,
All right?
this man.
Listen to that. There you go.
It's phenomenal.
What about you, Moon?
Can you repeat the question? I was laughing too much right there.
You're totally fine. What else do you love about creating content?
Oh, okay. Yes. Sorry. Yeah. So I guess if you to expand on my content a little more, maybe it's the game.
Yeah, sure.
I play a very specific game called Scrap Mechanics. So I mean, everybody has heard of the game Minecraft. That is probably one of the number one games on like YouTube and even just in the world in general. So this game though is very different from it, and it's kind of in its own competing market, especially on YouTube. But it's a very creative game. So I get to design, I get to create machines and things that look nice, and they do things, and you really have to look into the game to understand my content. But I think for me, it's just the fact that I get to release some creativity into the world, and like especially for me, I have a very young audience especially because of gaming. So I kind of get this motivation to be a community leader in that sense, and maybe for like the younger audience to also portray a good image. So I get really happy to think that I'm influencing other people's lives, and hopefully in a positive way. And it's through a video game that's all about creativity and just like doing whatever like makes you happy, right?
Exactly. You just gotta do what makes you happy.
No, absolutely. Well, and I think, something that, I've noticed with our other NewTubers is the fact that, a lot of them who do gaming content like, Minecraft or, Pokemon or, whatever the popular games are, is that they have a younger demographic of viewer, and they have to be really careful about, how they portray themselves, what they, allow in their chats, when they live stream, how to be careful about, protecting these young viewers. And so, the fact that you're taking that on and you take it so personally, I think is so great. Like there's, I don't think there's anything better than trying to inspire, kids to be creators and doing what they want to do. I think that's just fantastic.
Oh yeah, I totally agree with that.
It's very fulfilling.
Although I have to put out there, like if your demographic is targeted towards children, like just be careful, especially if you put your social media out there and you use that a lot. Just really do be careful, because a lot of these kids are a little bit impressionable, like it's just a word of advice, because I've known, because in our community, it's all about anime and Dragon Ball, and that is kind of not really targeted towards kids, air quotes, but like but there are a lot of kids that do watch, and we have to be, as earlier we said, we gotta be professional, we gotta like these kids see what we're doing and think, hey, this is okay. When if we do something bad, it's not really not.
It's not, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
Exactly.
Well, and I, it's just so important, as a parent myself, I know that I only have a baby, but I know, in, 5, 7, 10 years, she's going to be online too. And, it's a blessing to know that there are people out there that are taking it so seriously.
Exactly.
So from all the parents out there, thank you for that.
No problem.
Hey, yeah, we're trying our best.
Although, to be fair, I do swear on my channel, so I'm not doing exactly my best, but hey.
Oh, yeah. I see, and it's...
So let's switch it up a little bit real quick. Something that I'm really, really interested in knowing is, when you guys found NewTubers and how our community has helped you as a content creator.
Actually, that's a good question, isn't it, actually?
Mm-hmm.
So I can't remember how many I had when I joined NewTubers, how many subscribers. It might have been 15,000 maybe.
Oh wow.
So you were well past the 5,000.
Yeah, oh definitely. Because like my channel went through various like evolutions and changes, and you can see it in the statistics, like these changes that I make on my channel and the effects that it had. So eventually there was a certain point in my channel where I was like, wow, I'm really getting a sense of like what's happening right now. And so I started to kind of broaden my horizons, you could say, right? So I started looking around and I found the community, and I just saw right away that like there's a lot of people making YouTube channels and content on YouTube. It's astounding how many channels are being made. And so I just figured I think it would be important to understand just every facet of the website as far as what content is on it and what it means to have content on it, because everybody is doing it for such different reasons. And I thought for me, for my own sake, it was a good experience to not only see that whole side of it, but also to help others as well, because I have learned so much, and also to try and absolve some like misinformation and stuff, because there's a lot of rumors. A lot of people don't necessarily they're just kind of making stuff up, or you know what I mean. I try and make sure that everybody is aware of like what the reality is, and not some people making up rumors or saying, or just kind of not helping the idea of YouTube, and to make videos and stuff, I guess.
No, that's great. And I think, like, if you come into it and you're already over 5,000 subscribers and it happened so quickly, like it did for both of you, there's got to be things that you have to kind of back up and not do again, but maybe fill in the gaps where, you grew so quickly, maybe you weren't aware of some things, like it just happened by chance.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Yeah, because, that's because the channel growth is a very, like, important factor. The way you grow your channel, it can very well dictate the way your channel's future will be as well.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
What about you, Piccolo?
I joined, I think, NewTubers when I think I was just about hitting 5,000. Although I mainly lurked a little bit, and I was just told about it by my sister's boyfriend. He's like, "Oh, hey, Josh, man, you get, hey, man, check this thing out. This is pretty cool." It's like, "Oh, okay, I'll check it out." Huh, that's pretty cool. That is actually really cool. Because I only knew about our Let's Play, funny enough.
Is your sister's boyfriend, is he a YouTuber as well?
He is a small YouTuber. I believe he's Wubbadub, or I think he's one of your moderators on the subreddit, I believe.
Oh, wow.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All in the family, I see.
Yes,
oh, and the plot thickens.
The plot thickens. And I do lurk every so often, and I try and, like the ideas that new YouTubers has, even here on the Discord server and as well as on the subreddit. You guys have a lot of good ideas, and really does honestly help. Because if I knew about you guys back when I had my Wolf King channel, oh man, that would have been amazing. I probably would have gone a little bit farther with that channel, to be perfectly honest.
Well, thank you for that.
No problem.
So, as we, not necessarily wrap up the conversation, but we've talked about, growing our communities and, dealing with, the hate comments and, and all of those things. What is maybe like one major tip you can give to help other small creators just starting out?
The golden tip.
Yes,
just
your golden
one tip. Oh man, that's a heavy one. You know what? I've thought about this before, actually, and the number one tip from me, anyway, is at some point you have to realize you have to know who you're making your videos for. You have to know who you're making them for. If you don't know your audience, and you don't know who you expect to watch your videos, then you're going to have a hard time really dialing in on how to make videos and like who's going to watch them, that's, if that makes any sense. I can maybe
absolutely
explain it a little better, but it's know your audience, I think, is a huge one. If you're going at the angle of wanting to grow and sustain a channel with multiple viewers and stuff like that, then I think that's a very important thing.
Yeah, for sure. What about you, Piccolo?
What's the golden ticket? The golden tip ticket. I don't know if I have any really good tips, but honestly, I just say perseverance, really. Like, stick to your schedule. Like, if you have a schedule, stick with it. Because then if you drop off of that schedule, then or even changing your channel, like in the middle of that schedule or whatever you're doing, your subscribers will be like, oh, what's this? And immediately unsubscribe and do a whole lot of things. But so just stick with it. If it's not going anywhere, you know what, just honestly still keep going with it, because eventually you might get lucky and then suddenly, oh, hey, this is a cool video. And then they share it with hundreds and thousands of people. So, you know, just perseverance, really, and keep to your schedule is really, I guess, my biggest tip of them all.
No, that's awesome. No, I think that's great. You know, it's certainly something that, you know, I've struggled with. I think it's something that a lot of our creators struggle with, especially the ones that are, you know, going off to college right now, or, you know, real life gets in the way. You have to work, you've got family, you've got parents, you know, whatever the case may be. It's really tough to stick to a schedule.
It really is.
And I think, and, you know, for me personally, I think something else that, you know, our creators should keep in mind is, you know, forgiveness. Like, even if you can't stick to your schedule, don't beat yourself up over it.
Exactly.
Like, forgive yourself, reset, move on, go to the next week. Like, don't, you know, don't get into that rut of, oh, I've messed up, my channel's ruined.
That's another thing too. Like, don't burn yourself out. If you start burning yourself out, you're not having fun anymore, and you think you're just like part of a big machine on YouTube, and you start losing that personal touch, and it starts turning into a little too much of a job. You know, I think you want to kind of keep that open air.
So that's actually, that leads me to a question that I hadn't thought of. So how much time do you guys each devote to your channels every week, every day, every month, however you want to break it down?
Yeah, the time, it depends for me, because like I think like it's, you know, the nature of the content. And it's kind of interesting because for me, when it comes to the actual video making, like the video itself, it's actually it's a very low amount of time. I can record, and I recorded and edited and uploaded a video 2 hours before we did this, right? And but the thing is, I spent about over 3 hours building in the game that I play as a gaming channel, and I think that is something that I maybe even owe to some of my success. Is the game that I play? I now have over like 1,700 hours in it in the last year and a half. And so I think it's those behind, see, and that's what's frustrating for me is like I put so much effort, and someone can put so much effort into the behind the scenes work, you know, and sometimes it pans out and sometimes it doesn't. So for me, it's just challenging because I spend so many hours to just create the thing that's in my video, that I can spend upwards of 10 to 15 hours on a single video based off that. But it shows, you know, and so that might not necessarily directly relate to per se someone's content like Mr. Piccolo here, who has a totally different style. But for myself, that's kind of where I'm at as far as the time goes. So it's like playing the game and making the content and then recording it for the channel.
Yeah, because I had a look at your channel before this, Mr. Moon, and I noticed, like, dude, you probably put in, as you said, you probably put in like 4 or 5 hours into your buildings, and then like probably 10, 15 minutes into like the actual recording, showing things off, and then
exactly, yeah, because my recordings,
like 10 minutes on editing, essentially,
yeah,
probably.
And that's kind of funny for me, and this can apply to, I guess, if we're talking on the gaming side of YouTube, for me anyway, especially, is how do I take what I've been doing? You know, I got 1,700 hours in this game. How am I supposed to keep this entertaining and different? And that's when I start to nitpick my editing, and I start to balance out my workload on either end of the work process, right? So or maybe it's even just for my own entertainment. You know what? I feel like making a silly intro and make it thematic with some style to it, you know, and I'll do it on that sense, so I can keep the same level of time dedication, but balancing out the way it's presented on YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. Because I actually just recently saw one of your videos where you made a Porsche or whatever, and it was kind of cool because like a little fun touch was like you put hydraulics in it. And I was like, did you really? It's like, I don't know. I just felt like doing this. I was like, did he seriously put hydraulics in his videos? That's amazing. On a Porsche of all things, that's amazing.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No, it's a lot of fun though, and that's why that's what you got to keep doing, right? Is if you got to keep it fun.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. What about you, Piccolo? How much time?
How much time do I really put in my videos? Honestly, depending on the video, like reacts are very quick. Probably like depending on how long the videos are, probably like five-ish minutes. You know, like just quick recordings and then cleaning the audio. Like that takes probably like 5 minutes. Yeah, gameplays, depending on how long the video is, and then I just, if I need to fast forward or do some hard cuts, which I hardly do, probably like half an hour, and then just wait to render it out. So like probably within, at most, I want to say at least 30 minutes ish.
That's quick.
That is.
When I get in the mood to edit and do things, I go hard. So I actually just like, okay, let's get this done.
Oh, yeah. Do you ever find yourself like recording multiple videos in a day to set yourself up at all?
Sometimes I do if I have the time, because my recording environment it's okay, but at the moment I gotta find times when people are either not home or, you know, away and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that won't disturb the recording process. So some days it's like, okay, I can get 5 videos done. Yes. Some days
that's another challenge.
Exactly.
That is a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and especially for our creators who are in college, you know, they've got roommates or whatever, you know, knocking on the door, people screaming down the hallway. It's gotta be difficult.
Yeah.
So something that I think that our NewTubers are going to be interested in knowing, because I am going to end up linking your channels, you know, in the descriptions and stuff, is they may want to know kind of what your setup is, like what programs do you use, you know, recording equipment, you know, whatever the case may be. If you can run through those real quick for us, that would probably be something they'd be interested in knowing.
Oh, that'd be, yeah. I'm quite curious what Mr. Moon specs.
Oh, my specs, eh?
I want to know your hardware specs, good sir.
Oh, okay. Well, as far as my setup goes, we can start with like the hardware. You know, I use a big green screen behind myself. It's just one of the it's like a big sheet, but it's a green screen, and so that hangs behind me. I have two 45 diffused lights, or two 45 degree angle diffused lights on either side, with a C920 Logitech HD webcam. To record my face with. You know, I got dual monitors. That's super duper useful for production and stuff like that. Is 2 monitors, and of course I got a beast of a computer because of the games and stuff that I play. And that's pretty much it. You know, I got my microphone with a pop filter, so I can go pa 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 pa, and stuff like that. But as far as software goes, This was something that I chose because it was free at first, and that's just what I started using. But I use Lightworks as an editor, and there's a free version for anybody. There's no watermarks. The only condition is you only get 720p export. So eventually, people started complaining about my render quality on my channel, and you know, so that's actually a big thing too. Is the feedback that you get from your viewers. If you take action on it, that can go a long way, because people started complaining about various things on my channel. So I spent some money, I invested back into the channel, and I made some improvements. So I ended up getting the pro version of that program, and it's great. And of course, you know, Audacity #1 for audio because it's free.
Yeah.
Woot!
That's it, really.
Nice. I have a pretty decent setup. What microphone do you use? I don't think I heard you say that, actually.
Oh, sorry. Yes, my microphone is the I guess it's the Blue Snowball.
Ah, okay. So you use the Snowball. That's pretty common to use.
It's a very common, cheap, good entry one. But honestly, I am not too happy with it. I am going to be upgrading soon, because the Snowball is if you don't know it, it's a big tinny ball. It's a hard plastic ball. And it absorbs sound from everywhere. So I do have some sound dampening boards lining behind my computer, but it's still tinny. So I want to get the upgrade, something that's a little softer.
Well, if you have the money, I might recommend switching to XLR. So you might have to get yourself it is a little bit more expensive, XLR, but you can find some decently priced microphones, even used, which is nice.
That's probably going to be the next step.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend heading up to XLR. And speaking of XLR, my setup. Segue. Yeah.
Segue, yeah, what a great segue.
Y'all are just doing this whole thing without me. It's great.
So what I use for recording, I use OBS for the most part. And if not, I use other programs. I used to use DxTory or Fraps back in the day. Old man Fraps, old man DxTory. Now I also use for audio recordings. I do use Adobe Audition, which is amazing because I can clean everything of the audio.
Scrub it.
I can scrub it clean. All those pesky noises. It's great. I use for my video making. I do use Sony Vegas Pro 13. I've been using Sony Vegas Pro for a long time, long time. So I'm most comfortable with. Everyone's like, use Premiere. I'm like, no. I currently use I have a very beast of a rig of a computer, nice silent gaming computer, which is nice. It was very expensive, so I also use I do, as I said, XLR. I use an XLR microphone. Currently, I'm using the Blue Spark. Wait, is it Spark or is it Ice? I think it's Blue.
That sounds so buzzy.
Spark.
Get it right. Get it right.
Yes, I use the Blue Spark as well as a Scarlett 2i2, which is a thing that you for those that don't know about XLRs, you have to use phantom power for most XLR microphones, and it's just a board that you hook your microphone up to, and then it allows you to work, and you can actually tune your audio levels on the fly if you really need to, which is nice. Really good for voice acting. And I instead of a pop filter, I have a thing called a chaotic eyeball. It's like a giant foam ball that you put on your mic, and it's amazing. It's also really expensive too. But,
so it sounds like you've sunk a little bit of money into
yes, I've sunk a lot
into your setup.
Yes, a lot of money into my setup, but that was mainly for my.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry, don't mind my mouth noises.
I've sunk a bit of money into my channel / voice acting because it's like Mr. Moon says, it's an investment, a heavy investment. Because for voiceover, you need to have a decent amount of quality as well as the acting part. But we're not talking about voice acting here. We're talking about YouTube, so I'm talking about the quality. But yeah, it's just about quality, and I'm always about quality here. It's great.
Quality is important.
Exactly,
very important.
It really is important because nobody wants to hear a laptop mic and hearing dishes in the background. God knows I don't.
The vacuum cleaner starts going.
Exactly.
The thing that we always struggle with is the air conditioning or halogen lights. I'm like, really? Come on now. Can we not? So we are almost out of time. I just wanted to open it up to you guys and see if there's anything else that you wanted to, share or talk about. Any last little kernels of wisdom. Anything. If not, that's okay. I just wanted to go ahead and open the floor.
All right. Mr. Myrna, you can go first. Good sir.
If anything, I'm assuming people have access to this Discord freely, right, from the community. Mm-hmm. So I'm always usually on Discord when I'm at home on the computer and stuff, so people are more than welcome to ask me questions or whatever. If I'm allowed to say that here, I don't know.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
People are welcome to send me little personal messages, as they are called, and so I'm happy to answer questions like that on the fly, and it would, of course, be related to personal experience, because that's what this is all about.
What about you, Piccolo?
Last speaky talky things. I don't really have anything, like really to include.
You're totally fine. I put you on the spot.
It's okay.
I'm sorry.
Like if for those that do like Dragon Ball and stuff like that, we do have a community. We have tons of other character channels. Like we have Frieza, we have Goku, we have Chi-Chi, we have tons of other characters, which is really cool, as well as me and Piccolo. Yeah, we're a pretty decent community, really nice and friendly. Sometimes, just FYI, sometimes, sometimes, air quotes. I'll definitely come to the NewTubers Discord server because I'm here every so often. You know, I lurk a little bit, but I'm here. I'm here.
Well, we value our alumni so much because you guys provide insight into, the YouTube world or the content creation world that, even all of I am 99% sure that none of our staff have surpassed the 5K mark. And so you guys provide invaluable resources for us, to kind of further our reach into small content creators, like how we can help them, what happens after 5K. So, we always love it when you guys are there and around and talking with our smaller content creators because, it's a pick-me-up. It shows that you can do it. It can happen. So, thank you so much for that. That is all the time that we have. So thank you so much for joining us today. I'll have our alumni channels linked below or in the show notes if you're listening on podcast. And if you like this interview, make sure you let us know who else you'd like to hear from and check out some of our other NewTubers interviews. You can also reach us on social media, Reddit, Discord, and of course, our brand new website, veryfetch.net, your ultimate go-to for content creation tutorials, tips, and more. My name is Meg. Thank you so much for stopping by, and we'll see you around on NewTubers. Bye!